The following is a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about them Cowboys?
Yeah! Go Cowboys! This is Media Mash,
A roundtable of Cowboys insiders
dropping wisdom
and offering sizzling takes
on the current state of your Dallas Cowboys.
Now, your host,
Newy Scruggs.
Here we are, Media Mash, everybody. The Dallas Cowboys heading into a Sunday night football matchup with the Denver Broncos. And it was another hot day in the locker room. And to join us and talk about it right now, we've got the Hall of Famer. He is Ed Werder in the house. We've got most trusted Clarence Hill in the house. I am merely Newy Scruggs. So I missed the Micah Parsons portion to go do Media Mash here. So Micah, live wire today, guys. Ed, take me from the top here.
He spoke for about 20 minutes?
Yeah, he spoke for 20 minutes.
On general state of affairs and more specifically on his approach to his off-season contract negotiations, stating once again that he does not have to make $40 million a year. He doesn't have to be paid as the highest defensive player in football, emphasizing he wants to get something done early, which obviously didn't happen with CeeDee Lamb and Dak Prescott last offseason, and he feels like that was detrimental to building a quality team. Wants them to use some of the savings and the time to sign back some of his current teammates and to be more aggressive in free agency. Not going to hold out, says he'll be here during the offseason. Endorsed Mike Zimmer as a defensive coordinator, wants him back.
And says he's one of his sons, another one of his daddies.
They went to a dinner at D. Lincoln's Steakhouse nearby recently, and Zim told him to put away the card. And in return for that, he got a public endorsement from Micah Parsons that stamps him as his defensive coordinator. That's been a growing relationship, it seems like.
Yeah.
Been kind of interesting to hear Mike talk about it.
It's growing because you go back to minicamp when he hadn't talked to him. Remember when Mike Zimmer,
it was kind of a standoff.
It was a standoff initially, and Zimmer was hazing a little bit. He didn't speak to him because they missed all OTAs, and Mike said, haven't spent much time with him. They were, ooh, Zimmer was tough. And then they started going to breakfast, and that was a training camp storyline. They'd meet for breakfast and everything like that. But it was Micah unplugged, and that's why it's, when he was mad at the media, first of all, as I said, he can never stay mad at the media. Micah likes to talk. He likes that he has things to say, and that he likes to fill up our notebook.
He's like Michael Irvin,
right,
in that regard.
Yeah,
he's the first competitor to Michael Irvin in terms of you're standing there at 3:00 in the afternoon with nothing to report, and then he becomes available, and you've got days of content.
Yes, I mean it's crazy, and there's so much to talk about in the contract. And then he was asked, which is sure it's going to go just as viral, about rooting for Philly. And
which he should this week.
Because you need Philly to be watching to keep all your hopes alive of, getting the playoffs.
They could be eliminated by the time they take the field Sunday night against Tampa Bay if Washington
wins the game.
So,
and he said, F Philly. I mean, I don't know what we can use on it. He actually said the word. It was basically because all the fans, and not the players, it's just the Philly fans, and they come at him on social media, and he said, F Philly, and so I'm sure that's going to cause Philly fans to come at him even more.
I'm sitting here looking at my watch, Clarence, and wondering why Steven hasn't already announced he has signed Micah Parsons to a contract extension, given the terms he just alluded to.
Listen, I'm right. I was writing it yesterday, and I held off from writing it today. They need to call his bluff. Let's do the deal right now. Come on into the office.
I got a half hour. Let's get this done.
Get the agent done. He said told Todd there was no difference between 30 and 40 million. Today he didn't go down to 30, but he said he don't need 40. He don't need to be the highest paid.
You even said like 39, 38. I'm like,
yeah.
What's it going to take? Anything under 40 is a good deal for the Cowboys.
It's a great deal. He said, I'm going to be here for OTAs. I don't want to hold out. Call his bluff. Let's get it done now. Let's see who's real. Let's see who's not going to blink. The Cowboys talking about we tight against the cap and all of this mumbo jumbo they've been doing. They held out with Steve, how they did Dak and how they did CeeDee. Well, Micah has a solution. He's offering a solution. I'm going to take less money. I want to get it done early. I'm going to be here for OTAs.
And pay Matina.
Like, I can't imagine what David Mulligan is going to think when his agent, when he sees this. Like, he's negotiated some of the richest contracts in sports, including Deshaun Watson as the only quarterback in the history of the NFL to get a fully guaranteed contract under the most dire of circumstances. He created that market.
And you know, and Dak said the same thing. I need to be the highest paid player, but let my agent do the business. But he also said that they owe it to other players to do right,
the
and
union
get the most
creates
money.
pressure on the players.
And so I'm sure Muguleta and the union like, now you got to get you, because when you get more money, the next player gets more money. It lifts all boats as a jury word.
So that's why you want him to call the bluff.
Yeah, you owe it.
You think it's a bluff. You don't think he'll really sign for this.
Yes, it's a bluff. Come on. Come on.
Well, he's not going to have the defensive player. He's not going to be top 3 in defensive player of the year voting for the first time in his career.
And he said it's because he was
hurt.
And
Right.
he was humbled.
But listen,
he said he was humbled.
but I think in his absence, he really underscored his importance.
Right.
Right?
Thank
you.
Because their
And his
defense,
return.
their defense has come to life since he came back, and he still leads the team in sacks, even though he missed 4 games. But since he came back, he ranks first in the NFL with 7.5 sacks, first in pressures with 33, and second with 13 quarterback hits. Now, they played a succession of weak teams, but still, that makes the point.
Oh, then they hit up here on the stats. They said since Micah Parsons returned to the defense in Week 10, the Cowboys have notched 24 sacks, the most in the NFL over the last 6 weeks, and generated 13 takeaways, which is third in the league. Which I think right there, by him not being there,
That's in their release.
yes,
You could take them their own release and say, here's what I want, $38 million.
Page one right there. in the
38,
release, which
40.
He said he would take less than 40. Said he doesn't need 40.
So when Micah says, I don't have to be the highest paid, ... and we go back to what Dak Prescott said and then what Dak Prescott took, I come into the mindset of what Jerry Jones once said. Just because I said it doesn't make it so.
Of course.
Just because you said it, your agent didn't make it.
Hey,
so.
Jack Taylor.
What's happening, people?
Taylor joining.
Hey, got coming strong.
All of that. I mean, that
Not early.
It's all
Not on
negotiation. That's
time.
why I said take him up on his offer now.
Go in there.
Let's do something unprecedented. Let's get it done early.
That's what I said. Why haven't the Cowboys agreed to terms with Dak?
I mean,
with
let's get
Micah
it done
Parsons
before the
already?
season over with. Let's get it done now.
This afternoon.
Then and you get it done. Now you can tack that extra season on. You want to be able to do that.
Do it before the Sunday Night Football game.
Let's get
But he
it
did
done.
talk about the importance of playing with Odigizua, that he hates the thought of Golston being gone, that, they've spent their whole careers here early together. They've built something, and he really can't imagine not playing with those guys.
Yeah, but the reality is you can't keep them all. And especially if you're paying Micah that kind of money. Again, we've talked about this. They have roughly 30 guys who are free agents on the last year of their deals.
Who fault is that?
It's not a fault. It's just a fact issue, And so they have to replenish these guys. Yeah, they have to replenish the roster. And some of those guys are going to be Steven said it last week. They're playing well, and it's too bad for us, good for them, because they're going to be wanted on the market. And so when you're paying, I don't care what Micah takes less, you're not going to be able to compete with teams for Osa Digazua if you're paying Micah $38 million.
Well, then you're going to be looking for 2 defensive tackles instead of 1.
Yeah.
I'd rather pay a young defensive tackle than an older slot corner.
Why you doing this? Why are you doing this? Why you just throwing Jordan Lewis under the bus? Let's leave Jordan.
Because it's the NFL
Jordan,
and you'd rather pay
Jordan.
26 than you would 30. That's all.
I understand, but we was talking about when we talking about defensive line.
And
why you just
didn't
throw
I,
Jordan
We're
didn't I
talking
say
about pending free agents.
Why you just do my boy Jordan like that? Jordan having his best year. He moved. He changed.
That's why he needs to go get paid.
He changed agents. He went to David Cantor.
Oh, see, he tried to get paid.
Playing
Yes.
inside, outside.
He played. He's had his
Plays
best year.
hurt.
He's getting mentioned for Pro Bowl nod at slot corner.
Going to have to brace up his elbow this weekend to play.
Got a young daughter he taking care of.
I
Hey,
think
go get
he's
paid.
had his best year. I think he's been the most
Diggs
consistent.
probably won't be ready start of the year. Be
Won't-
compromised.
Ain't no probably.
Oh, he's a doctor and an accountant. Who
Who's
knew?
most trusted?
Ain't no probably.
And that's not saying he don't do you like Gallup did. I don't feel right.
I hear you, but it depends on what the market is.
Right.
I don't know what Jordan's gonna get on the market.
No, I'm just saying in general, in a young man's game, I'd rather pay 26-year-old defensive tackles, defensive ends on the run, on the come, than I would a 30-year-old cornerback. That's
Right. It depends on the market. 'Cause I don't know what. I don't think he's going to get $10 million.
Why aren't they already signed? That's an option, right? You can sign guys before their contracts are up.
You can sign them right now. You got all that money you're carrying over.
Could have signed them 6 months ago.
Yes.
It is confusing, but I definitely think that when you got the news last weekend that Diggs was out for the year, and then they later on came and said, yeah, it could be,
8 months.
8 months, then
more.
Which of course, Jordan Lewis and his agent said yesterday's price is not today's price. It went up, but I
want to see Jordan sign in Detroit, go back home, and then have to fight Alon St. Brown and practice every day.
And go play for another 5'8" corner.
He might be a head coach.
Aaron Glenn. Yeah,
Aaron Glenn might be a head coach, but I just
Might be a good place to win a Super Bowl ring.
That's what I'm saying. Good. And they've had some injury bad luck late in the season.
Yes.
We thought they were riding and high.
They were. They just got, that's the nature of the NFL. It's not always the best team. It's a team that avoids those catastrophic injuries that wins.
If Dan Campbell can figure it out the way McCarthy did the year he won, I mean, they had a boatload of injuries there. Even in that Super Bowl game, ended up losing guys. And
that offense was unstoppable.
But they won. I mean, look.
That Aaron Rodgers, some receivers.
Rashard Mendenhall changed the whole game with that fumble. The Steelers were playing good ball and very much could have won that game, but that was it. And then was it Driver that went out? Which is the receiver? They lost one of
Jennings or Driver.
Jennings or Driver. It was one of the two. They ended
I
up.
think it was Driver.
Yeah, in that game. And anyway, Aaron played well in the second half, but Pittsburgh turned the football over, definitely changed that game. And that's where, you go, and if you look up and you Google Rashard Mendenhall, Pittsburgh fans.
He's been depressed ever since then.
Right, Pittsburgh fans, they've been nailed, you lost the Super Bowl. And he's, lived with it. And, yeah, he's been depressed over that. But it definitely changed the football game. But Mike always, we do the walk-offs. Mike consistently talks about that year and how many guys they lost. And that's where Detroit is right now.
How many guys played that year? 70-some guys on his roster played that year.
Right. So that's going to be, and obviously one of the better coaching jobs.
Well, and here we are talking about, forget depth. We're just talking about the importance of depth. And a minute before that, we were talking about the Cowboys losing frontline starters. How can you have depth if you don't even have your starters?
And Mike, once again, he talks about, working with young guys and his experiences from Green Bay, which is, I think, kind of into, we can get into this next segment of where's McCarthy at now and how do you look at these next 3 football games? Your last 3 games were against defenses that weren't any good, between the Giants, the Bengals, and the Panthers. Now you're stepping up here. He could conceivably lose 3 games. They will not be favored in any of these 3 games. How do you look at him?
And 2 of them are at home. But all 3 of these opponents are playoff-type teams. They're all competing for the playoffs. 2 teams
are in first place. The other one's in second place and behind one of the first-place teams. We'll do that next with Clarence Hill, All-City Dallas. We've got Ed Werder, Hall of Famer, WFAA. And we got Jacques Taylor, the author. Glad you're here. I'm Newy Scruggs. This is a Media Mash brought to you by nobody on DallasCowboys.com.
Nobody you.
How's Wingstop sound? Crispy, juicy classic wings, sauced and tossed in those 11 soul-satisfying flavors. Paired with hand-cut seasoned fries, house-made honey mustard, blue cheese, or signature Wingstop ranch. I think you've heard enough. Get your flavor delivered at Wingstop.com.
This is Nate Newton from Hanging with the Boys, and Wingstop is here to bring the flavor to game day as the official wings of the Dallas Cowboys. Order now by downloading the Wingstop app or ordering online at Wingstop.com.
Hey, Cowboys fans, a 2024 football season is here, and SeatGeek is here to help you experience all the action. SeatGeek makes it easy to find tickets so you can be a part of all the touchdown celebrations this season. Whether you're buying or selling tickets to Cowboys football games or to any other live event, SeatGeek is the place to do it. SeatGeek is the official primary ticketing partner of the Dallas Cowboys. The most disruptive idea in ticketing? A ticket that works. Expect the expected. SeatGeek.
How about them Cowboys? Or how about them Tyson Cowboys Nuggets? As we cheer for the stars on the field, we love that we've also got some stars on our plate, thanks to Tyson brand star-shaped Cowboys Nuggets. They sure make game day special, and for every purchase of the new Tyson Cowboys Nuggets this holiday season, Tyson Foods will donate $1 to the Salvation Army up to $100,000. As you enjoy your stars on and off the plate, taste. Remember, tailgates and game day have always been Tyson.
We got big personalities. We got big hair, big belt buckles. We got fans all across this big state and enemies in every other one. We even got a big star on the 50-yard line. Smirnoff knows football is a we thing, an experience that is best enjoyed together. With good drinks and good folks home or away, we rally together. We cry together, and we always rally cry together because, most of all, we got big love for them boys. Smirnoff, we do game days. Please drink responsibly.
Back to Media Mash.
Media Mash, your favorite Cowboy media members here, talking about the team. Jacques Taylor, Ed Werder, Clarence Hill. I'm Newy Scruggs. All right, practice report is out. Hall of Famer, what you got?
Oh, yeah, I'm going to do it? Okay.
Yeah, you do it. You go and break it down.
All right. Well, we've got, in terms of guys who are limited today, well, let's first talk about Eric Kendricks did not practice and hasn't practiced this week. I know there are issues beyond his injuries on a personal basis, but I would expect he would play. Would you not, Clarence?
I expect he'll play it. And Mike said earlier today that most of the guys would play that are limited. You know, I guess
TJ Bass
maybe
limited, Jalen Brooks limited,
Yeah.
Chuma Edoga limited, Jordan Lewis has told us he'll play, braced up on the elbow. Mozzie Smith didn't practice yesterday, limited today. Wanye Thomas limited, not going to play this week. And then everybody else was full.
Yeah.
So a relatively healthy team for this time of year, given that you don't have your quarterback and all the other players that they've lost. Their all-pro guard who amazingly has not been missed to the degree you would expect somebody of his stature.
Yeah,
That says a couple things.
You called it.
Somebody was giving me all kinds of hell about that at the time. For merely asking the coach.
And then you ain't missed him at all. Not
Which, in fairness to Zach Martin, reflects not only how well Hoffman has played, but
how
also
limited he was.
how his injury was affecting his performance.
Yeah. But now we're going to get that
As he-
27 $27 trillion off the books and go with the young guy.
Trusted?
I thought it was interesting that Overshawn had surgery yesterday.
No, we ain't talking about O'Shawn. We talking about.
Well, you talk about what you're talking about. I'm talking about what I'm talking
We
about.
talk about what Newy wants us to talk about.
No, we was talking about the injury report. I'm talking about
A
injuries.
little feisty over there.
I'm not feisty. I'm just saying you trying to start something. It ain't
No,
good.
that was me trying to start something.
I was listen. What?
You pointed at me.
You
I'm an
don't
innocent- I'm an
want to
innocent
address
dog.
the guard
I'm
or
an
the
innocent
offensive
dog.
line situation?
Since you was wrong about it.
I don't want to address the offensive line situation.
You don't have to speak badly about an all-pro to say, hey, the guy was struggling to stay on the
I don't
field.
want to address.
and-
I mean,
Can I ask you a question about what Ed said? You bleed now?
I think it's interesting. I don't know that I believe that. I don't know that they would not be having the same rushing numbers with Zach Martin against these bad defenses they done played the last 2 weeks.
That's kind of what Ed said to Dion. I don't know.
I don't know. Since we already talked about they played 3 bad defenses and 3 bad rushing defenses.
So we'll find out a little something this week.
We'll find out something this week. It's interesting because, we'll find out. We'll really find out how good Brock Hoffman is. And
Against
these guys
Vita
are.
Vea?
Yeah, against Vita Vea.
And
We'll
against that beast
We'll
next week
really
against
find out.
Philadelphia.
Yeah, we'll really find out where these guys are. And it's funny to me because there's so much talk about the momentum and what they're carrying. I think this game is a watershed moment for this team because if they lose against the Buccaneers, and I fully expect them to,
And they could be eliminated before they even take the field, as we said.
I think they lose out. They're losing that Philly. Then you got a Washington team that's playing for a playoff berth. We might be seeing Trey Lance start,
Is that what it takes?
Probably. But
even then, you think he'll play?
I think if there's all this momentum, and even if they do, what are you carrying? There's 30 free agents. Ain't no momentum carrying the next year. Half these guys won't even be here,
if not more,
with so many free agents. But they really could lose out.
The coaches are invested in winning, but some of the players might not be.
I understand even the coach, but my point is if they lose out, all this talk about Mike McCarthy coming back won't be the same at 6-11.
Right, you're looking at it through a different lens.
Of course.
They're looking at it one way now. It could be a whole different way.
Well, I know,
3
and
more losses from now.
And that's what's it's funny to me because 5 weeks ago we were asking, you're going to fire the coach in the middle of the season. I've never fired a coach in the middle of the season. Going to fire a coach in the middle of the season, in the middle of a 5-game losing streak. They win 2 games. Hey, it's a chance you can bring him back. Only 1-2 now. So we still got a losing record. We're still in the throes of
They won
adversity.
3 out of 4.
And now it's 3 out of 4, but we're still 6-8. And now, man, they got this momentum. We can bring them back. 3 games in 3 weeks, it could be a whole nother scenario. That's all I'm saying.
You're correct.
Sports is fluid, somebody wants to.
That's why you play all the games.
It is fluid. But yes, Brock Hoffman is playing well. I don't know if we need to put away the anointing oils. That's all I'm saying. There's a ceiling on what this offensive line is, and we'll see. And we'll learn a lot more this weekend in the next couple of weeks.
So, on the practice report, Chuma Edoga limited, started left tackle, ended up getting injured, and then had to come back in.
And he played guard when he came back in.
Can a first-round pick get on the field?
That was my next.
He getting on my nerves.
I saw him in the locker room. I didn't get. I had to come and do the players' now, so I didn't get to come chat. But did he talk? Did he say anything? Is he going? What do we know?
Didn't talk.
Tyler Guy.
He didn't talk. Did we try to talk to him?
We were all talking to Micah by the time he was available.
It's a caste system,
That was strategic.
It's a caste system. No, it wasn't strategic. I mean, he's talking. I remember early, first round pick, early in camp, you're running to him. Early in the season, you're running to him. You want to get some first. He, has not talked a lot, but ain't nobody clamoring to talk to him either, right?
Not me. The line wasn't. If there was going to be a line, it wasn't starting with me.
Last time I talked to him, we discussed pedicures.
It's and the same thing with Zeke. Ain't nobody running to try to flag Zeke down. When you don't play well, the media lets you know that they don't have no interest in talking to you.
Well, actually, it's worse than that. Because sometimes if you're a good player but you don't play well, we ask questions about, well, how come you're not playing
well? That was early with Zeke.
Now we have apathy towards you.
Now we punted on Zeke. Is my point. Early on in Zeke, we should run to Zeke every week and ask him, why you ain't on the field.
See, but my bigger point is it's apathy. So it's not even that you don't care. You have no care.
At the height of his powers, remember after a game, he'd be the first guy to talk. Right in the locker room, he'd be the first guy to talk.
In the corner.
And
there's no demand, no.
Who's the first guy to talk in the locker room now? After a game.
It depends.
Jerry.
Jerry's
in the locker room.
That's who I go for.
Jerry's the first guy.
Somewhere Chuck Cooperstein is throwing up.
Jerry's talking before Mike McCarthy. I'm just letting you know. Jerry's the first person to talk, period.
I said in the locker room.
I'm generally with Mike, but I would say that based on
sympathy.
It used to be Zeke.
Right.
And
that's what I'm asking.
I would say it's CD talks, Micah talk. I don't know if they're the first ones, but they're consistent.
Depends on win or loss.
Chris Beam will tell you it depends on the win or the loss.
Yeah.
It really does.
Yeah. But you can get Jordan anytime. You can get some of the defensive guys anytime. They're always available.
After San Francisco was Overshown.
Yeah. I mean, you can get some of the guys. Overshown will talk in the locker room.
I thought that was Diggs. Didn't Diggs come out and talk to Michael Leslie first?
About these nuts.
I wasn't at the game. I'm just asking.
Nasty word.
I had my phone. And I just
Mike Leslie milked that.
Yes, he did.
Don't think he knows how many people have viewed that video.
I tell you, boy, it was him and Jesus, boy. It was two eye on a cross, put themselves out there like that, boy.
He gonna talk about his teammate like that.
Oh, I forgot.
Micah spoke highly of Diggs today.
They did.
Yeah, he was defending
his rehab efforts.
Trayvon Diggs today about people being critical of him and maybe not knowing what his responsibility was. He did suggest he's not always maybe as engaged in a play as he should be, but he also said he's built from the same. He comes from the same competitive cloth as Micah.
That's one of his closest friends. He also called him Toots in camp. I call him Toots because of his lackadaisical attitude and style. He called him Toots, and he talked about his. Maybe his body language ain't always the way it is, but he was even after practice. He was going somewhere down the street. He couldn't name where he was going
at training camp. Yeah. He was doing extra work on his own at night.
On his own, not
at night,
but not with the rehab guys.
Right outside the organization.
One of them baby mamas. I just asked.
I need Louis.
I will say this about Diggs for people who, we've seen social media where people have questioned his toughness and things like that at times. And I do remind people he did play for Nick Saban and was on a championship team.
I'll take it a step further. You can't be in the NFL and not be tough. there are varying degrees of toughness, but everybody in the NFL has a degree of toughness to them, or you could never get.
They're all tougher than the ordinary citizen.
I mean, it's insane what them
Even
what them
the
dudes go
punters.
through.
No. But see, I don't think that the issue is not toughness. The issue may be work ethic. I mean, I think we're talking two different things.
Well, we're just talking about what we get on social media. From
People don't know.
That's what I'm saying.
Like,
that stuff that you get. You know.
Yeah.
Because if you ever been blessed to be close to a sideline and heard that thing at an NFL game, it sounds completely different than a high school, college game.
And how fast does it happen? You can't even get out of the way.
Right. Yes. Which is, it was said.
And they're not coming for you, and you still can't get out of the way.
That was me when LeVar Arrington hit Aikman for the last time in his career. Like, let me get out of it. It was incredibly fast. But my thing with Diggs, just for the people who were saying those things, I would respond. The man played for Nick Saban at Alabama, and they won championships and played on the other side of Patrick Surtain. You're not going to start at Alabama, play as long as he did, and do that if you don't have any toughness about you, or you can't play. It just doesn't happen.
But tackling in the run game,
he made business decisions, even at Alabama.
Tackling in the run game for him is kind of like it was for Deion. It was the same priority.
He made business decisions. That's all the people are talking about. He made and
Deion had a pretty good career. From what I recall.
Nick Saban he made business decisions.
Hey man,
it's okay.
He does get the ball.
Yeah,
he does get the ball.
He has a talent,
and I advocated for them taking Diggs in the first round. He obviously got him in the second round, but he was a player that I liked and I thought he could help out, and he's had a good career. What's the old TD Jakes thing with 80-20? You're sitting around here, you got the 80-20, you got the 80 you love, but you're sitting up here mad about the 20 you don't.
I thought you were gonna say swallow.
We're gonna take a break right here on the Media Mash.
Too late.
Jock Taylor, Ed Werder, most trusted. Clarence Hill, I'm Newy Scruggs. We're back in a minute.
Hey Cowboy fans, I'm Dak Prescott, quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys. But lately, I've been learning a new game, crypto. Sound confusing? Don't worry, even us pros were rookies in crypto once. That's why I trust blockchain.com. They make crypto easy. No confusing jargon, just the tools to help you win.
Prescott keeps it, slides with a first down.
Invest like your icons, where everyone is a rookie in crypto with blockchain.com.
Perfect throw, my goodness. Wow, did he ever thread the needle?
Visit blockchain.com/cowboys to get started.
Fall is here, and that means football is back, bringing all the delicious game day foods with it. As you prep for all the big games, tailgates, and watch parties, let Yo Quiero be your one-stop destination for all things home gating. Yo Quiero's fresh, flavorful, ready-to-serve guacamole, made with real Hass avocados, will score taste bud touchdowns as you cheer on the Cowboys. Yo Quiero's wide range of mouth-watering and versatile products can be found in your local grocery store's produce or deli section. Grab some today.
Hey, Cowboys fans, a 2024 football season is here, and SeatGeek is here to help you experience all the action. SeatGeek makes it easy to find tickets so you can be a part of all the touchdown celebrations this season. Whether you're buying or selling tickets to Cowboys football games or to any other live event, SeatGeek is the place to do it. SeatGeek is the official primary ticketing partner of the Dallas Cowboys. The most disruptive idea in ticketing? A ticket that works. Expect the expected. SeatGeek.
How about them Cowboys? Or how about them Tyson Cowboys Nuggets? As we cheer for the stars on the field, we love that we've also got some stars on our plate, thanks to Tyson brand star-shaped Cowboys Nuggets. They sure make game day special, and for every purchase of the new Tyson Cowboys Nuggets this holiday season, Tyson Foods will donate $1 to the Salvation Army up to $100,000. As you enjoy your stars on and off the plate, remember, tailgates and game day have always been Tyson.
Back to Media Mash.
Media Mash, brought to you by no one. And
it never will be.
And I can understand.
Did we lose a sponsor? We never had one.
We've never had one.
We've never had one.
I think I need to go to the.
We're trying to get one.
Let me go to the marketing department because I can sell this show. Somebody need to.
Is that why it's not ever promoted on social media?
I mean, I don't know.
I do my damnedest.
Yeah, he does. He does a good job.
You do a great job.
Clarence Hill, Edwards, Jacques Taylor, your media members here who cover the team. I'm Newy Scruggs here as we bring you these takes each Thursday right here on DallasCowboys.com. So,
a little breaking news real quick.
Yes.
From NFCs. Looks like there will be no new RFK Stadium in the new bill.
So sad.
I don't know if you know. You've been at the old RFK Stadium. You know,
I was there, once or twice.
It was rocking. That thing used to sway like the
That's where Steve Walsh got the win in that 1-15 1989 season.
Right. Nikki from Washington Post says, new bill, no RFK Stadium, unreal. Judy Batista, good Lord. NFL media people.
Okay, so more FedEx Field, more.
I don't know if it's more FedEx because that place is a dump.
I stopped going.
You know, I remember when they first opened, they used to fill that thing up.
Yes.
Okay, and now they got banners over the seats.
They cover it.
They cover it. I mean, it was.
They actually removed the actual like concrete. There's no
Right.
banners over seats anymore. They removed the concrete.
I mean, it's crazy. I mean, that place used to be full when it opened up, and now it's a dump.
It is. I stopped going. I was in the press box. It rained one day. It was just start raining on my papers. I'm trying to take notes. It's like, yeah, I'm good. And then your man, Dan Snyder at the time was serving hot dogs, and you turned it over, and it was like a pink line thing. I was like, yeah, I'm not eating that. And then I remember they had a bad grade on the food hospitality because they went around all the stadiums and they had a horrible. So I started going to a local grocery store, bringing my food to the game, and then I just said, you know what?
Really? Wow, the host
Not even making a trip.
No, their press box food's been the worst in the league.
Yeah. So I just this is Donnie, man, you have at it, Donnie.
Well, Mr. Snyder's now gone.
That's true,
And the Washington Commanders are contending for the playoffs in the first year of new ownership, a new head coach, a rookie starting quarterback, just like the Houston Texans.
Yeah, that's awesome. I still missed the trip this year, so I'm good. I'm good. Right now, between Washington and Philly, I let my man Donnie get those trips.
That's nice of you.
Yeah, I do the Giants.
That's benevolent of you. Take New York City.
That's magnanimous of you.
Hey, man, I let him have Carolina this year. Normally my trip too. So
I went to Bojangles. I thought about you.
Did you get the bone in?
Of course, I got the bone in. It was good. I was starving. Got off the plane and went to B and got me at Bojangles.
There you go.
Went off from C to B.
This is the kind of stuff you talk about when the team's 6-8.
Yeah.
Basically,
get that dirty rice.
Bojangles. And actually, because my plane got delayed on Monday, I went back at Bojangles, and me and a whole lot of Bojangles doing brisk business on Monday with the plane delay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, love me some.
Oh yeah, I'm surprised you're back. You're back already.
Finally made it. I made it back. If Mike McCarthy loses these next 3 games, how does the owner feel? Because now you're talking 6-11.
Which would be the most games McCarthy's ever lost in a single season in 18 years as a head coach.
And he's 13th all time in wins right now. May be stuck right there with Jeff Fisher.
Well, I think Jerry's problem. I think Jerry probably would prefer not to make a coaching change. It's a matter of can he sell the fan base on that. But I feel like if Jerry has a conviction about McCarthy coming back as a head coach, then he should follow his conviction.
Well, Jerry just said on this Netflix preview is bigger than just football.
What's bigger than football?
Why are we doing this,
Jerry?
Why are we bringing why are you bringing the Netflix preview into this? I mean, it's
just talking about what it is.
What do you think? They're 6-11. McCarthy's calling the plays on offense. They've had let's not forget all of the embarrassing losses they suffered at home. Let's remember they're 1-6 at home. You know who's worse than 1-6 at home?
Nobody.
The Tennessee Titans and the Giants. The Giants haven't won at home yet. And Tennessee's as bad as the Cowboys are at home.
I think Jerry said it all on the radio show the other day. He put it all in perspective when he said that don't forget who we beaten. We're beating bad teams and we lost to good teams.
And don't forget, and that was interesting to me, is that all of a sudden he's talking about all the injuries and McCarthy's kept the team playing hard despite all of that. Well, they got a lot of veteran players who are going out of contract, so they're trying to get their next deal, whether here or someplace else. And you got a bunch of undrafted free agents who are still trying to create a space for themselves on an NFL roster, primarily here. Mm-hmm. And he's the one who said, I forget what game it was, but halfway through the season, after they lost Dak, he said, hey, we won 3 games with Dak. We aren't playing good with any quarterback.
Right. And he said the results are the results. I mean, I'm not happy with the results. I'm not happy with the record. We can feel good about 3 out of 4, but at the end of the day, we're not happy with the team. And they will be judged, and Mike will be judged on the final record.
Sound like Kellen Moore is the next head
and
coach.
so that's why I say, you know, they lose 3 in a row. You know, there's no momentum.
So when you slide Kellen Moore in here, I just don't see an 80-year-old owner going and giving a job to someone who's never done that.
Yeah, first-year coach. He's never done that.
Well, I think that depends on.
He did it with Jason Garrett.
It depends on how he views.
Well, Kellen Moore's a part of the family.
And here's
that's what I'm saying. That's why I said that's why I said that. Yes, normally wouldn't do it for a first-year coach, but he knows how it works around here. He's been thought of highly in NFL circles.
He's called plays for this quarterback. This quarterback has a brother-like relationship.
Remember the last time he was calling plays for the
We
quarterback?
didn't say this is the preferred method.
Led the league in picks.
That was how did he do the other years he was calling plays?
The joystick
He
was
learned
here,
how to run the
he led the
ball
league in
while he
picks,
was
and
in
then McCarthy
Philadelphia,
was
man.
like, man, we got to get him out of here. And next thing you know, he leads the league in
Well,
touchdowns.
I mean,
I think Mike is back.
Well,
I don't think the option
back and calling plays.
Oh yeah,
I don't know about that.
Mike's not going to not call plays.
That's what I think. I think like he doesn't have value if he's not your play caller.
Yeah,
if you don't like what he does as a play caller, there's no reason to bring him back.
He's not going to not. I mean, he's not giving a play calling. I mean, he's not doing that.
Well, would he do it for his job?
I mean, I think that's
He did it once before.
I think that's how he embodies his job as. I mean, we've talked.
Okay, but
to
I'm
him.
saying if Jerry says I'll bring you back as a head coach and sign you for 3 years or 4 years, but you're not calling the plays, is Mike willing to say okay, or does he say, hey, I'm a free agent. Let me go see what New Orleans thinks. Let me go see if Aaron Rodgers wants me to coach him with the Jets.
Well, I mean, who are you going to hire to be Mike's play caller?
I don't know.
By the way, Campo was a first-time head coach.
Yeah, but he was
in the
he was in the system.
He was in the
but
system.
but again,
he's part of Jimmy's family.
The biggest thing with Mike coming back is that there are really no real options. I mean, I'm sorry. I think Mike has done a great job. I think he's a good
great
coach.
job.
I think he's a good coach. 25, 25.
He's done a great job.
Okay.
This year?
I'm
He's looking at the body of work.
I'm talking about his body of work.
He's looking at the body of work.
And I don't think he gets enough credit for 25, especially the year that you.
Well, the
lose
only
Dak
years he
for 5
didn't go
games.
12-5 were when he lost Dak.
Right. You know, I don't think he gets enough credit. I think he did a good job managing his team. Certainly.
And when he did lose Dak, he got a 12-5 year too.
So I don't think he gets enough credit for that. And is it his fault they haven't gotten over the hump in the playoffs? You know, and you look at the roster, I've always pushed back on this is the most talented team. And all
I remember the one year he came out of the San Francisco playoff game saying, "Oh, we were nervous. I knew we were nervous."
I kicked his butt for that.
And then when they lost to Green Bay and got blown out in the first half of that game, fell behind 27-0, he was talking about, "Oh, you got to get the quarterback comfortable in the game earlier." Like, well, what is it? How are your guys not ready to play in these big moments?
No doubt. No doubt.
I like Mike too, and I think he's done a good job, and I wouldn't oppose bringing him back either. I think the risk you take with Kellen Moore is you know how he's going to be as a play caller. What you don't know is can he run the whole team?
Can he be a leader of men?
Can he run the whole team?
And we've seen his interviews. He doesn't engender confidence.
No.
I just can't see the owner moving off when there's no better option.
Yeah, and my thing is this.
Well, we don't know what he thinks a better option is.
And my thing is this, because it's not like they have lost. They don't need a new voice. They haven't lost. He hasn't lost the players. Okay, so it's not like you need a new voice. Who comes in here and takes the Cowboys to the? Because that's the goal. Okay, it's not just to get back to the playoffs. Who comes here and improves this team and makes them a Super Bowl team?
I would say my biggest concern about Mike is his philosophy as it pertains to the running game. Everybody in the NFL, the good teams are running the football now. More than ever, more than any time in the last 10 years, good teams are running the football now. All teams are running the football more. And if you look at the teams that are winning, they're running the football. Look at Philadelphia.
Yeah. And he started to...
And he doesn't ever really do that.
He started to figure it out here in these last 3 games.
Well, because he's playing with a backup quarterback.
And the 3 games are against some bad teams here.
Teams bad against the run.
So this is... And I think they could improve with the running back.
And isn't that the way Jerry won his Super Bowls? He won with run-oriented offenses and defenses that had depth and could rush the passer. That's how they won. And Mike just doesn't ever buy into the run game. And how many times did he stand up there and say, hey, the only thing standing between Rico Dowdle and exceptional running statistics are getting him enough rushes? Well, who's calling the runs? So if you think you have to run the football to win, Mike's not going to.
Right. But with Mike, anybody else, if they don't change their ways and how they handle free agency, it doesn't matter who the coach. You're not going to get to the next level. You're not going to become a Super Bowl team unless you.
This is more on the front office than on the coaches.
Yeah, I think, yes.
It don't matter who the coach is going to be.
Yeah. The front office definitely playing a big part of this. All right, before we get out of here, let's pick games. We got Thursday Night Football. Denver is at the L.A. Chargers. JJT, what you got?
Hey, man, Justin Herbert and his coach better put their heads out the keister, man. Okay. So, it's got to be the Chargers tonight if they're going to make a move. I like them 27-24.
Ed.
Broncos are on a 4-game winning streak, but this is the kind of team that they haven't beaten. They're 1-5 against teams that are 500 or better. But the Chargers have the same flaw. So the Chargers are home. I'm taking Denver. I'm taking Sean Payton.
Now, here I was thinking he was going against his Denver, Colorado bias, and yet he did.
24-20.
Most trusted.
I think Denver's living on borrowed time. I'm taking the Chargers.
You don't like Bo Nix?
No.
How about Bo Derek?
Got that score?
20-14.
20-14.
Well, low-scoring game.
All right, Tampa at Dallas. JJT.
Oh, well, you know, Todd Bowles is a favorite of mine. So, and they won't
It's
let
not show friends. It's show business.
Yeah, but he'll let me in his locker room. So I'm going with Tampa Bay.
He'll let you in his locker room.
34.
What does that mean?
Oh, he's not allowed in the Cowboys locker room anymore.
You're not allowed in the Cowboy locker room?
Thanks for noticing, Ed. 34.
Are you at the games?
20.
Ed, what do you have?
Now, I like to see winners.
Here we go. Pretty soon you're going to be allowed here either.
Ed, what you got?
Then I can really focus on winning.
I'll take the Bucs 34-28.
Got Cooper Rush putting up a couple touchdowns. All right, chill.
Yeah, I think this is where it stops. I think I got the Bucs 30-14.
The Bucs stop here? Oh, they started.
Mike Evans going buck wild this weekend. Like the way I did that.
It's Jamar Chase.
Buck wild.
Like Jamar Chase type action here. Gentlemen, this was fun as always. I appreciate your time.
Wasn't it?
Yes.
Chill. Go get us a sponsor.
Good sponsor.
Yes. Chill.
Well, at least a locker room pass.
Ed Werder. Jacques Taylor. Newy Scruggs. Media Mash.
Poor you.
Talk to you
Poor
Thursday.
guy.
Merely Newy Scruggs.
This has been a production of DallasCowboys.com and the Dallas Cowboys Football Club.
How about this, Cowboys? Yeah!